Hello, this is Arthur again, and today we have a 2008 Toyota Tacoma V6 rear-wheel drive. It's a pre-runner. Please consider subscribing to my channel. My channel is new, I'm trying to grow it, and I do post a lot of videos here and there on the jobs or cars that I think are interesting, and I'm going to be posting more and more videos. Please consider subscribing, sharing, and liking, commenting. So this truck has 76,000 miles. It is here for the Diff leak, and I'm gonna show you around really quick, and I'll show you the leaking area, and then I'll go through time lapse of the repair and talk about some of the important points of it. So let's begin. Okay, let's take a quick look at this truck. It's a 2008, as I mentioned. I typically don't do Toyotas that much, but this owner also has a really nice BMW that he regularly brings. So once he told me he has this one for repair, I took it as well. It's a very clean truck. He just purchased it. Cloth interior, basic, but it is in good shape. There's no leaks from the engine. They're all very clean. It's really hot around here, so I'm trying to get as much shade as possible. It's pretty humid and hot. Today is around 90 degrees, so it's not fun. So back to the truck, it is, as you can see, in great shape. And let me show you underneath where the problem area is. Okay, here's the underneath the truck. Any leaks here? It looks clean. See the automatic transmission. And now go back to our rear diff. You can tell that we have a leak, and it's not from the pinion seal. Here's clean. It comes from around the diff, where the diff mounts onto the axle, this area. So I'm gonna have to pull the axles out, disconnect the drive shaft, and drop this whole thing out and reseal it and put it back. I'll put you in a time lapse, and I'll just go over some of the tips or anything like that if I come by for you guys, but it should be pretty straightforward. So I removed the differential already. I cleaned the surface up as much as possible. It's pretty clean, as well as the axle side. I cleaned the inside and I cleaned the mating surface. And I'm going to go ahead and apply a gasket maker. This is the one I'm going to use. It's specifically made for differentials by Permatex. This is the part number. I'm gonna apply some, and then I'm gonna put the diff back on. I'll torque down the bolts, the nuts, and I'll let it sit for a while, let it dry, and then one by one I'll remove the nuts and apply a thread sealer and then put it back on, probably later on in the morning. Right now it's about 6 o'clock p.m. Once I put that in, I should be able, it should dry overnight, and then I'll be able to put it back. Then the next would be to connect the drive shaft, clean up the axles, push them back, clean up these areas. Everything is clean over here on this car. Pretty much brakes look okay still. I really don't like working on drum brakes cars. They're a pain in the butt to get it out, in and out, but it is what it is. I'm gonna put those back on and then add fluid. This one is not a locking differential. It's an open diff, so it does take a regular 70 to 90 or 85 to 80 to 90, differential fluid. Any good quality fluid you use should be fine. I don't think there's any issues with that, as long as you replace your fluid on time and keep the fluid clean. There shouldn't be any issues with the fluid. So we're gonna go ahead and put the sealer in, and then we'll see how it goes. Okay, so the diff has been resealed. I did put new washers on the drain and fill. I did put some sealant around the bolts and a thread sealer as well. As I think it should be some in there. It's very thin, the wall behind it, and I'm afraid it might be leaking from around the bolts, so I didn't want that to happen. So I added some sealant behind the washer and around the stud, and then I put thread sealer, thread locker, and then put the nuts back on. So should be okay for now. I'm gonna drive it just to make sure it's okay. If it's not okay, I'll let you guys know, but should be fine. We put the brakes back on, wheels back on. I'm also gonna do an oil change on this car. I won't show that, but that's about it for this repair. If you can, please comment, like, and subscribe. There are more videos to come.